Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Swanson. I'm the head coach for Team 6045 and a regular contributor here on Fun. Welcome to the first episode of the year of FUNalysis. We're going to be diving into the first playoff match of the year at ISR number 1. First playoff match of the year, and we've already broken 200 points. So we'll go through the match, find out how they did it, and dive into the bigger implications for REEFSCAPE and how the season will play out. So kicking things off, we're going to start out in autonomous. We're going to be watching primarily Alliance number 1, comprised of teams 1690, 5614, and 5928. 5614 snuck out the number 1 seed, edging out 1690, who made a comeback at the end of quals. 1690, obviously the number 1 overall pick, and then 5928, their third robot. We're going to focus on the One Alliance because they did something that I think a lot of people didn't expect this year. They had a very, very impressive performance that we'll dive into. So I'm going to kick things off. We're going to start out in the autonomous mode, and we're going to watch the Red Alliance. 1690 is going to do a 4-piece autonomous mode here. Meanwhile, 5614, they're going to do a 3-piece, and then 5928, you notice they went in with a mobility and then a L1 auto. So coming out of autonomous right here, let me hit play one more time. You're going to see that after the mobility points get applied, we have the Red Alliance with 61 points right out of auto. Obviously, the Blue Alliance with 12. This matchup was kind of over in auto, right? 61 points is going to be extremely competitive pretty far into the season, I imagine. My thought is, if you're putting up 61 in auto, you're probably winning. You're probably scoring more than most alliances will in quals, probably through most of week 1. So, being that we're just kicking off teleop now, we're going to watch 5928. They're going to sneak over. They're going to be playing defense on the Blue Alliance for the large majority of the match, until at which point they're going to come back and park. 1690, you're going to watch them. They're going to initially pick algae out of the reef, and they're going to go right to the net with it. And 5928 is going to go right into coral cycling. So 1690 is going to do what I'm going to call super cycles. They pick up at coral while scoring algae on the way. That's a feature of their ground intake. They're gonna keep plugging away. So they're going to score. They're going to pick up algae, score algae in the net, and watch them right here. They missed their second attempt at scoring algae. So keep note of that as we get into the later portion of the match. Basically, we're going to talk a little bit about missed opportunities and how this alliance could have increased their scoring ceiling. That was one opportunity right there. So they go back, they score another algae here. In total, you'll find that they throw 3 of them into the net, in addition to many coral cycles. So they're going to grab their third algae, again, a super cycle where they pick up coral, and this will be their final algae that they score into the net. I want to point out that we are barely into teleop. We've got a minute 33 left. Alliance 1 is already up over 100 points. Meanwhile, you're going to notice the Blue Alliance, they're actually processing some algae. So they're getting 6 points for scoring that algae in the processor, but they're also giving the Red Alliance 4 points for each algae that they process. And so you're going to find in total, their Blue Alliance is effectively giving the Red Alliance 12 points throughout the course of this match. As we get into the middle of the match here, we're going to find the Red Alliance cycling very efficiently. So in total, 1690 is going to score 16 coral in teleop. Meanwhile, 5614 is going to score 14 of their own. And watching them go, it's very impressive. This is kind of the bread and butter of a high-level match. You're going to see 2 robots going to town on the reef. It's going to be we're going to see a lot of this as the season goes on. And really, you notice one thing: they're undefended, right? When you're dealing with a high-level alliance like this, especially when you're at 8 alliance trying to pull off an upset against a powerful number 1 alliance, you should probably be considering playing defense. Now, the number 8 alliance did have the misfortune of having a tipped-over robot. It's possible that they intended to go play defense and didn't have the opportunity. But forward thinking here, if you're against this red number 1 alliance, playing defense on them is definitely going to be the way to go. we're coming into the end game now, and you're going to notice I'm going to pause right when both red robots kind of make their way over to do their deep climb. So I think they're both done scoring now. I want to point out L4 completely full. L3 completely full. There is one coral missing over here from L2, and then they've actually got 3 L1 scored. Reminder, one of those came in auto, and then 1690 actually scored 2 of them in teleop. So again, 1690 was 16 teleop cycles with coral, 3 teleop cycles with algae for a total of 19. And then you've got 5614 that ran 14 coral cycles in teleop, in addition to their 3 in auto. So it's week 1. I want to remember that. Keep that in mind. Week 1, and we have a nearly full reef. All but one on L2, ignoring L1, of course. So what I'd like to point out as well is the Red Alliance would later in Finals 1, they would actually fill up the reef, levels 2 through 4. And again, it's week 1. This is insane. And granted, not every event, not every alliance is going to have 1690, a world champion, scoring 23 game pieces in a match. That's not going to be very frequent, especially in early weeks here. But it's a little eye opening to see how far we are in week 1. So I'm going to keep going here, show that 1690 and 5614 are both going to get their deep climbs, both extremely efficient. I want to point out they went over at about 18 seconds, and they're both hanging with time to spare. 5928, very well driven. I want to go back, and this is how it should look for your third robot. If you're sneaking into park, you just sneak your way in, get across the tape, and look at this human player too. I want to point out, very well done, to ensure that 5928 doesn't disrupt their alliance partners on the climb. So watch the human players watching 5928, and they give a signal the moment that they get in to the tape. So that's 2 points. Easy way for them to communicate that. And let's just keep going, and we'll see the final score. And the final score of the first playoff match of 2025, of course, the Red Alliance taking the win. 223 points, an event high score and a world high score. 221 of those were clean. There was a 2-point penalty on the Blue Alliance. So here we are, week 1, 223 points scored. There was some debate as to whether, would we or wouldn't we break 200? Well, this high-powered number 1 alliance from ISR number 1 blew that out of the water. So what does that mean going forward? I'm gonna kick this back, and we're gonna watch the match over again as I talk about what I think are the implications from what we've seen from the first real play of REEFSCAPE. Now, again, like I mentioned, not every event is going to have a 1690. Take their performance for what it is, an elite week 1 performance from a world champion. I think 5614 is amazing, and they're probably more indicative of like your regular top robot at a week 1 event. So taking 1690 out of the equation, you've got 5614 putting up 3 in auto, 14 in teleop. I think that's going to be pretty common for your top alliance, top captain type robots at other events. So I don't think we're going to have to be concerned with the reef filling up in the early weeks necessarily, but looking forward to the World Championship, right? Let's consider the Red Alliance nearly filled the reef, and then later on in Finals 1 did fill the reef, ignoring level 1, with 2 robots. Granted, they're not being defended, but 2 robots effectively in week 1 are filling L2 through L4. So now imagine a scenario where their third robot, rather than playing defense, either they're algae specialist. Let's take a pause in the match here and count up the number of algae available to that third robot if they were an algae specialist and focusing on offense. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 algae just hanging out on the ground, and actually 6. I missed this one too. So there's 6 algae just hanging out. A third alliance member could very easily be playing cleanup with algae, going to the net, or even processing it, and they wouldn't be disruptive of the 2 top coral robots. So that would be one option, is having the third robot contribute to potentially, what would that be? 28 algae points if they went straight to the net. And consider the fact that there's one, two, I think there's a third one somewhere over here, right back here, 3 algae on the opponent alliance. So you potentially got 9 algae that a third robot could be cleaning up and scoring another 36 points on 221 points clean that this alliance already did. So one option, algae specialist, that could push the ceiling higher. Another option would actually be an L1 and algae specialist. So you clean up the algae on your side, and then you spam L1 with your third robot. And really, if you think about the EveryBot, if you think about the KitBot, those robots are designed for that exact purpose. So in future events, in typical week 1 through, let's say, week 3 or 4 events, there's going to be a robot available that can score low. Late in the draft, there'll be numerous KitBot, numerous EveryBot type robots at every event. So another option, if you want to go the triple offense route, would be spam L1 while your top 2 fill L2 through L4. Let's consider there are 63 coral that you could potentially score. You could fit 27 in theory on L1, and then obviously 36 going through L2 through L4. I'm going to make a prediction. Maybe, I don't know if you'd call it a bold take or what, but I don't think it's a hot take. But I'm of the opinion that we will never see 63 coral scored on a reef. At least not for a very long time. And I'll put it out there that I don't think we ever will. So a lot of people are talking about, wow, this game is broken. Wow, the GDC is going to have to do something about the like supercharging in 2023. They're going to have to maybe add more algae to the reef. They're going to have to change something fundamentally about the game because people feel that it's broken. I would push back and say that I don't think we're going to see anything like that, largely because I don't think we're going to see a full reef. There's also elements of play with algae. You've got 9 algae on your side. The opponent has 9 algae on their side. I think we're going to see it become pretty commonplace, especially later in the year, where L2 through L4 get filled. That's a regular thing. And then alliances are going to have to determine how they win on the margins, right? So with winning on the margins, that's going to be scoring your 9 algae, making sure that isn't available to the opponent, while also potentially sending your robot to go steal algae. If you score 10, the opponent can only score 8. That's an 8-point differential in your favor. And at high levels of play, that might be enough to swing the match for your alliance to win. I think we're going to see algae become a little bit like the Can Wars in 2015, where if you win the war, the algae war, you're going to be in a very good position to win the match. Now, there's a lot I could say. There's a lot of implications that this match could have on the future of REEFSCAPE, but I do want to take a step back and appreciate the greatness that is 1690, coming off a world championship and not missing a beat. Many saw their reveal video and said, wow, they did it again. And their first event performance is absolutely true. A shout out to 5614 as well, and then their partner 5928. Congratulations on the first win of the year. I'm really excited to see where things go from here, and I think, despite some concerns about how does the game play out, given that we're so advanced already, despite those concerns, we're in for a fun year of REEFSCAPE, and I'm excited to see how it goes. So again, my name is Ryan Swanson. Thank you so much for watching FUNalysis, and look out for more of these as we go throughout the year. I know I'm signed up to do roughly 1 per week, so looking forward to this, and have a great night.